Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of a Doctor Who reaction. This is Red Live. My name is Matt. And the last episode, we had a very interesting episode, I want to say. Um, it was probably the best episode, not only in the season, but in the past, season and a half. Since in this era of the show, it was probably the best one. Uh, but I don't want to make the service to some of the others that definitely are up there, such as Demons of the Punjab and Rosa and Tesla. The historical ones, I love those actually. They're some of the best episodes ever. But previous one was not a historical, and it was fucking good. But the thing about that episode is that it actually played to a lot of it played to weaknesses that the audience might have, specifically weaknesses to the audience wanting to see Captain Jack Harkness back. Because they know that he's so beloved, and it's like, yeah, finally he's back, and that made me so happy, and I'm sure it made a lot of people very happy. And so that was fantastic and all, but also I think that okay, so you want to say something that I realized while editing the previous episode, and it's not something that I missed that was confirmed, but it's something that I realized while editing, and it's so let's go back to the Ruth Doctor, or Dr. Ruth. I was going down the road of alternate universe Doctor or something like that. That was never even brought up in that episode, which could be a confirmation, but the episode kept saying that is a previous incarnation of the Doctor, and that time lady, what was her name, Gat, is also from a previous time in Gallifrey. They're just from the past. If that's the case, well, I already mentioned this. I already talked about it a little bit, which is it doesn't really make much sense because of the 12 generations rule, and that was a whole thing in Time of the Doctor. But fuck it, they really can't just write whatever the fuck they want to write, right? They did that with the War Doctor once already. And the War Doctor only happened because they couldn't get Eccleston in, so they just said, "Oh fuck it, let's just bring someone else in." Who can we get? John Hurt. Call Jung Hurt. Can you do it? He said, "Yeah, okay, we're doing it." That's how it went down, and that is great. We love the War Doctor, but if they're gonna, so here's the thing: is that the episode kept making hints at the fact that she is actually a past version of the Doctor. A different alternative to Tad was never brought up, so that makes me think that it is an alternative, and they just didn't want to tell you the answer, or she's actually a past version of the Doctor, and some fuckery happened in the middle, and that is the reason why she doesn't remember. So that could be it. I just wanted to bring that up because while editing the episode, I just kept seeing little hints that the episode was dropping, in the sense of everyone thinks that she is a past version of the Doctor, and I didn't realize how much the episode was telling you that she is a past version of the Doctor. So I'm just okay, sure, that could be the case. Or it could just be something else and they're trying to misdirect. Or some fuckery happened in the middle and we're gonna figure out what the fuckery was. So that's it. The Root Doctor, that's an interesting one, and I want to see where that goes. And I've also been told that so this is before it airs on YouTube, but on Patreon people have said people didn't know how to feel about the implication that there might be another Doctor that we just didn't know about, and it's we already did it for the War Doctor, man. I don't give a shit. So that's where I stand on that. I just think that episode was great because it just had a lot in it, and it had Jack in it. So that's it. That's all I needed. Just give me John Barrowman. I'm cool. But anyway, that episode was fire, and even on YouTube, episode 4 aired on YouTube like this week, and people were like, "You're not ready for next episode," and I'm like, "Yeah, I wasn't." But anyway, I think we're done with that. I'm coming in low energy a little bit right now. It's also like late in the night, but you know, I record this whenever I can. So yeah, I figure we should just stop stalling and just jump into the next episode. So yeah, Doctor Who Series 12, Episode 6. Let's go.
I'm way off course. DMP's failed.
Okay. What the fuck is happening? Gotcha.
You, my friend, are under arrest.
Shoplifting?
You can't go round rugby tackling kids like that. You're not a police officer, Jake.
Yes, I am. I'm just on a break.
That's Portuguese. Peru.
Close your eyes. What?
Obrigado is Portuguese. Well, maybe they were talking to someone from that was Brazilian. I'm not gonna think too hard about it. Well, maybe she is Brazilian. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm stupid. Okay, this looks not great.
It's wrecked. I don't know what happened. 3 years ago, this was paradise.
Did some alien bullshit happen here? Or is some alien bullshit gonna happen here? I didn't get a look at that newspaper, so I don't know what language it was, but I bet you it was English. Okay, a crow pecked her eyes out. Am I watching Doctor Who?
Still unable to confirm whether the British astronaut Adam Lang managed to evacuate his descent module safely.
Okay.
It veered off course and crashed into the Indian Ocean earlier today. What they say.
One new message from a number. Help me. Okay. It's Adam. Oh shit. Find me. Hong Kong? She has a Brazil t-shirt. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
That's weird.
What's that?
Hey, don't touch it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Something's wrong with the birds.
Hong Kong. I have no idea what's happening. I kind of like it. I kind of like not knowing what the fuck is happening. You just came to Hong Kong just like that.
Destination.
I don't think they're too keen on visitors.
Come on, son, fist down.
What are we doing? Madagascar? Okay, this is good. I feel like I'm playing GeoGuessr. I've been playing so much GeoGuessr lately, guys. You have no idea. GeoGuessr is so fucking good. Doctor? Yeah. That's a body. Okay, so something is wrong with the birds in Peru. There's a missing astronaut that fell into the ocean and showed up in the shores of Madagascar. And the dude got a text message saying that he should go. That he has something in his hand.
I saw her before we went to sleep last night. I just messaged some contacts on Reddit to access emergency services and satellites.
Whoa, okay.
Ooh. You work out?
Oh,
I'm Gabriella.
okay.
I'm guessing you know that.
No.
Oh, she's a social media.
The
Oh,
travel vlog. That's me and Jamila.
A man's gone missing and nobody's doing anything to find him. Apart from you.
I mean they are.
Yeah.
You're not the police, buddy. He's just playing pretend. He's probably his brother or his friends. Okay, what's that then?
Let's put him down.
There's so much bullshit happening, and I don't know what any of that is. He has some bullshit in his hand. He got.
What's your name?
He has some alien bullshit. Zach Olsen.
Our captain tried to raise the sub, but it was too late. It was already inside.
Oh, yeah, he's turning in. What the? That's a rough way to go.
So with the understanding, that was pretty alarming. Don't be overly alarmed.
There's a connection between all these things. I just can't see it yet.
Yeah, me neither. Did they travel for the filming of the episode? That would be really fun. If this was actually filmed in like Peru or some shit. It's probably filmed in like, I don't know, Spain. It's gonna be her and she's gonna be fucked up with alien bullshit. Yep. Oh, okay.
Jamila! I've just seen the same thing on a naval officer in Madagascar.
It didn't end well. Well, she's done. Dust.
Jamila, this can't be happening.
Yeah, this is too freaky, isn't it?
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's not!
He's on the other side of that wall. He's
This-
on the other side of this door.
That's so good.
How cool.
They were luring you in. Ooh. Okay. The hazmat suit mafia.
Hesitation. Must be valuable.
Good job. Good job, yes.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
We'll get through it.
Well, first of all, rename the name of your YouTube channel.
There was a device in there. I couldn't get it free in time. It looked really important to them. I want to go back and get it.
You should have said that before.
Come back for me in, well, I don't know, an hour or something. It's too dangerous.
Yes! You're not Solid Snake!
I'll come with you. I'm more than ready to fight something.
Watching the planet turn across a day. The Aurora Borealis.
Ah. An unforgettable luncheon.
I remember.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. Everything all
Yeah,
right?
the Madagascar people.
You two know each other how?
We're married.
Oh!
One of you is in for a shock.
One of us doesn't like putting the work in.
I came halfway around the world.
7 months too late.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, okay.
But why here?
Nevermore.
You recognize me?
No.
2 girls roaming.
1. No.
What's the matter with you people?
I mean, how many million subs you have? But I feel like no matter what amount of subscribers you have, like assuming that people just know you is never a thing you should do. I mean, not just should do, but I think that anyone would recognize you. Unless you have like a billion subs. Okay, this guy looks like he's in pain. I'm assuming they are also sick.
Your bloodstream's been infected with an alien pathogen, presumably in Hong Kong.
Is it bad if I don't know what pathogen is?
I'm glad you asked that, because I didn't want to look stupid.
What's the worst place we could end up?
Long list.
Inside a volcano full of spiders.
2 girls roaming. Ready?
Yes, it's a new replacement for your dead friend. Bro, this next video on the channel is gonna be hot.
What did he mean when he said 7 months too late?
I was supposed to come out and see him launch.
Oh.
Say goodbye as he went off to the ISS.
You didn't go.
He knew what he was taking on with me. I don't do emotions. And I'm really not good at sticking with things, you know, commitment. My husband is an astronaut. Do you have any idea how hard it is being married to somebody that impressive? Following being unreliable. Like I'm punishing him.
What for?
Not being honest.
No, sorry, you lost me.
If he's that impressive, if he's that amazing, which he is, he can't love me the way he says he does.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense. Why would he?
So that's what we're doing.
I don't think he's the one you're punishing.
Alien ship?
We're still alive.
Alien ruins?
We didn't die.
Okay, human built something, but what is it? Is it the submarine?
Part of a submarine.
Yeah, okay.
We might be able to use that data to genetically engineer a virus.
That's what I was thinking. What's so, Zipper?
Watch that kid be another version of the Doctor. We're just gonna have a different version of the Doctor that we didn't know about across the season.
Alien pathogens attacked the plastic. The plastic metastasized as if it was living. Autons?
Yeah,
Can't be autons.
I was thinking that, and then I was like, no.
The microfiltration system. In the water, it filters out microplastics. Alien bacteria homing in on microplastics because humans are full of them.
Excuse me, I'm not full of plastic.
Full of something.
It's in the air, it's in your food, it's in your water.
Microplastic.
Humans have flooded this planet with plastics that can't be fully broken down. So much so that you're ingesting microparticles whether you know it or not. See what the bird's natural enzymes are doing.
Oh yeah, clear as mud.
Right?
Planet Earth. So clever. 2 strains from Peru, fighting back. Ganging up on the bacteria, holding it back to allow natural decomposition.
Come on, catch me up on this, please.
Yeah,
Alan
please.
Sinclair picks up
We're
dead bird
stupid.
in Peru and might just have saved the world.
Well, I am here for you guys, you know.
We followed one of those things through a teleport, and now I think we're on an alien planet.
Well, you don't do things by halves.
Also, I think we found the missing submarine. The lab in Hong Kong was sending data to 2 locations. One in the middle of the Indian Ocean, but the other is in Madagascar, where you are right now.
Oh, is your doctor
Doctor, did you hear what I said?
responsible for this shit? Yeah. You were too clever.
We're here all alone in an over-equipped lab.
But you've really helped. Got even more answers from you than we did from experimenting on Adam.
Oh
We
boy.
call the infection Praxeus. Trust me, it's smart, it's relentless, and it knows you're onto it.
She's gone. And we're about to get eaten by birds. Never more, bitches!
Test it on me.
Okay.
No, too dangerous.
Doesn't matter, do it.
You need a clinical trial of a human body. And now you've got one.
No.
We don't have time to argue.
Adam, no. No way. I'm not gonna let you.
It's not your choice to make.
If the antidote works on you, the TARDIS will make more. A long way below the Indian Ocean.
Oh, we're in the water. Okay. Ah. Of course.
Praxeus is attracted to plastic. It's built a whole environment here from the plastic. A world of pure Praxeus. This is where it all started.
Dying man's wish. Stop dodging life.
That's good.
Please.
They're not human.
Okay, you're not human.
Infected with Praxeus, but the body hasn't disintegrated. Must be due to the different biology.
I don't get it. Why were these guys experimenting on Adam?
Maybe for the same reasons we are.
Trying to find a cure.
To find a cure.
It's getting worse, isn't it?
Going somewhere? Who were they, Suki? The infected people in the hazmat suits.
My crew.
You're
I'm
alien?
the last one left.
Wait, that's the spaceship, right?
Well, the back end of one, yes. Why?
Praxeus devastated my planet. The survivors were assigned to lab ships to find an antidote for the few of us left alive.
You're infected too.
Cellular mutation is slower for us.
If you're scientists in lab ships, please tell me you didn't bring this infection here deliberately.
Yeah, she was trying to find a cure, so you needed a full planet of test subjects.
And this planet is saturated in it.
Okay.
We traveled across 3 galaxies to find the perfect living laboratory.
To use Earth as a petri dish, destroying one race to save the remnants of your own.
But you showed me how to find a cure. Thanks to you, my mission was successful. They already had the transmission of how the cure could work.
No, Suki, the cure is designed for humans.
Yeah.
You don't even know if it works on them. If you're not a human, who knows what will happen? Please tell me you haven't administered it on yourself.
She's dead.
2 brilliant scientists.
She's-
We can fix this.
She
Work
is...
together, find a cure.
She's about to explode. Yeah, well.
Suki?
There.
Succumb to Praxeus.
And there, and there, and there.
Count us in.
Hi.
He's better!
Turns out,
It worked.
it worked.
Your machine's got this out.
That's the antidote.
Manual bypass.
Dials on, full clockwise.
I said anti-clockwise.
Just testing.
All systems set for automation.
No idea what any of this means. But is that literally the controls for up, down, left, and right?
We're on a spaceship.
Your job is so easy.
Shuttle initiate.
Ah, that's good. That's good. It's a confidence boost for him.
The engines discharge the virus in one super-powered burst.
And everyone's fine.
dispersing it around the world, killing Praxeus stone dead.
Yeah.
Out now.
Yeah, you could have started with that. Darius, go!
What was that?
Autopilot failure.
Oh, no.
Can't connect.
It's gonna work though, right?
I don't know.
Ah, the astronaut's gonna go. The 2 of them are gonna go.
Come on.
He's gonna go.
Space Chapter Blue Box, can you hear me?
Jake, what are you doing?
Manual pilot making up for broken autopilot.
Yeah.
Any idiot can fly a spaceship, right?
Oh, that's good.
I don't want this.
It's what he wants.
Maybe I need this.
If the ship doesn't blow up, we might get to him and save what the thought is, but I think he's dead.
I'm sorry I wasn't at the launch. This is me not dodging. Don't say I never listened to you.
Jake, you've done it. Antidote particles being dispersed into the jet streams.
This will look freaky from Earth. Maybe? No, that's a big explosion. I mean, maybe he won't be hurt too bad. And then if we get there, as he's floating in space. What? Oh my god, I can't believe we did that. I don't know how we did that, but we did it. I don't think we've ever seen that shit. We saw it like once.
What can I say? I'm a romantic.
Worst thing about saving the human race, nobody knows it was me.
I know, right?
We never had a honeymoon because he didn't want to go abroad. Maybe now's the time.
I'll go with you.
How's that honeymoon if you're with us?
We can vlog about it.
Oh my god.
I like it. It's snappy.
And factual.
It's weird that this chick is with them because they didn't have talk between them. Alright, that was a good episode. I like it a lot. Okay. Okay, so that was Praxeus. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So there was a moment, like not halfway, but like 3/4 over the episode that I was thinking, like I was definitely getting the message anti-pollination plastic message happening, and I was thinking, please don't turn into Orphan 55, and I don't think it did. I think it actually, okay, it wasn't so upfront about it that it took me out of the story of the episode itself. The episode itself remained being the episode itself, and the overarching like story, not overarching, but like the main story, the main conflict, and the characters, I feel like it wrapped up pretty nicely, and I enjoyed it. The main thing that I enjoyed is, and I'm not sure if they travel to different places to film this episode, to like different countries. I mean, maybe they did, but it's just in Europe, I would assume, because like Europe has a lot of different places that looks very different, and I feel like they've traveled to like Spain or whatever in order to record some stuff in Doctor Who in the past. But it would be nice if they actually like travel around the world to just do an episode. But probably not this one. Probably like a more epic, like meaningful episode, which this one I don't think it was. I think it was more just like one-off story that is just like fun to watch. That's how I feel about it. But man, like watching this episode felt very it felt very topical to the moment of what is going on in my life right now, because two things. First of all, there is a disease that is spreading and murdering people, and shit is on quarantine, or at least it should be. And it's like, okay, so that's one thing. That felt great. Second, is that we travel across multiple countries of the world. Not to say that they did in order to film it, but within the episode at least, we were in Peru, we went to Hong Kong, we went to Madagascar, so lots of different places, and it was a lot of fun. And it was a lot of fun because I've also been playing GeoGuessr lately, and I'm not sure if you guys know what GeoGuessr is, but it's a website that it uses Google Street View, which is the Google system, in order to just like they have a car just traveling around the world taking 360 pictures of everything, and you can just travel and see the world across that. And it's just a game that is just like, okay, you're dropped somewhere in the world, figure out where you are, and then pin it in a map. And I've been playing so much GeoGuessr lately, like you guys have no fucking clue. The other day I spent like 20 hours playing GeoGuessr just to perfect pin every single location in the maps. And I got it, actually. I got 5,000 points, which is the max, on every single one, and I got a perfect score. It was great. But anyway, I enjoy the idea of being dropped into different places in the world. And I just like seeing things just being different, I enjoy that a lot. And just the episode having that idea of, if shit is happening around the world, fuck it, just figure out what's going on. Just somehow it's connected, I enjoy that a lot. I really, really did. And that's probably my favorite thing about this episode. The other thing that I actually quite enjoyed is the relationship between these two characters, Well, more so one than the other. I'm looking at the wiki here, just for the episode, just because I want to see the cast list, and it's Jake Willis and Adam Lang. So I enjoy the character of Jake Willis particularly because immediately you get the impression that he's just like just some dude who is, because he tackles the kid that was shoplifting, and then the owner in the shop just goes like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Just like, just, you don't have to run and tackle this kid. That's fine. It was just like, whatever, right? So just let him walk away, whatever, who gives a shit, right? And you get the impression, and they even say, it's like, oh, I'm a cop, and it's like, no, you're not. And it's like, well, I'm on a break, some shit like that. And then he comes back where they actually give an explanation, which is he's taking a sabbatical, which is fine, because it was fun because Yas was also taking a sabbatical. But you get a very good read on what kind of character he is right away, and then that comes back in the context of his interpersonal relationships, particularly with his are they still married or like separate? I'm not sure, but his husband. And I thought it was pretty cool because they actually talk about it. And with Graham, the whole thing basically boils down to this man, Jake, is a guy who runs away, and he avoids everything because he doesn't like taking responsibility, or he just doesn't like taking commitment, and he's just like, fuck it, I just don't want to deal with this. It's easier to just not deal with anything than to actually deal with it. So that's the kind of person he is. And that got worse when he started having a relationship. Because a relationship is also about not only commitment, but like, okay, so he just didn't go to the launch to space. But it's because he had some sort of an inferiority what the fuck is the word that I just said? Inferiority complex going on, because he talked about like, well, look at, he's an astronaut. Like, what the fuck am I? You know, I'm just a failed ex-cop. I'm nothing compared to someone like him. And I feel guilty for just being essentially like death weight in this relationship to someone as amazing as he is. Like, I do not understand how he can say that he loves me. And then, and it gives you, that's the moment you realize, okay, you're this kind of person. This is what your problem is. Your problem is that you have a terrible self-worth. And I like that the episode actually had like a mini arc. Like, I like having a mini arc for like a side character that is not going to come back. He doesn't matter, but it's a mini arc, you know, and it probably is faster than it would be in real life, but fuck it. Who gives a shit? Like, it's just a mini arc for a one-off throwaway character. I enjoy that, you know, I enjoy doing that. And it came back in the sense that, and it got resolved, that when they are in the ship and I really like it, and he didn't think it would become a thing, but it did, which is when they got to the ship, he looks at the controls and he goes like, wait, so this is just like up and down, left and right? Man, your job is so easy. It's like, because that was the moment that he realized, like, my husband is not like a god. He just like sits here and just like controls this shit, and it's just like a fucking driving a car or some shit. Like, it's not that complicated. So it's like, what the fuck am I worrying about? Like, no. Like, shit that I do has like some sort of like value, and it's not so far away from what my husband does. So I like that a little bit, because it gave him more, like, he gave him more worth, because he realized that the shit that he thinks is just amazing is not as amazing as it is. It's all in his mind. It's all the inferiority complex. And then he comes back in the sense that it's like, well, someone needs to drive this shit, because the autopilot broke, so someone has to manually drive this and save the world, essentially. So then he just decides, I'm gonna do it. And there is that conversation over the transmission of the ship where it's like, I'm doing this for myself. Like, the husband said, like, what's the name of the husband? Adam? Yeah. Adam said, like, I don't want it. It's like, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for myself. This is what I want to do. So he just decided to do it. And he's like, all right, I'm going to fucking do it. I don't give a shit. And I like that because it gave this character, like, decisiveness and action, which is something that he didn't really take ever. Like, that, at least that's the kind of character that he presented us to, which is a character that just avoids things rather than dealing with them. And now he's just like, I'm doing it, fuck it, I don't give a shit, I'm going, I don't care. In a way, it's kind of bad because he's throwing his life away, at least in his mind, but he didn't. It worked out okay. His actions saved the world, and it's like, and he did have like that meaningful like talk with his husband when he thought he was gonna die, so that was great. So that it ended up all working out in the end, and now we can assume that maybe his mini character arc led him to a point where he's a lot more comfortable just being the husband of a random astronaut, and he actually feels like he's worth a little bit more than he was before, you know, and he's not as scared to take risks and not as scared to just take life head on instead of avoiding it. That's good. I like that. And they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that for a random throwaway side character. And I can see how some people would look at that and say that that is a bad thing. I don't think it is. I think it's actually really good. And I really, really enjoy whenever they do something like that. Because it's something that didn't need to be there. But I can look at it, I understand it, and I appreciate it. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. It makes me care to some degree about this random throwaway characters. And I was like, oh, he's gonna die, and then he didn't. And I'm like, well, great. Yeah, so that happened. We also had these characters of Gabriela and Jamila, and I had trouble remembering which one was which. But Gabriela was I'm assuming she was Brazilian because she did have like a Brazil shirt, didn't she? I think it was like a Brazil shirt because it was like yellow and green, and I think it just said Brazil. Yeah, it did say Brazil. Okay, so it was a Brazilian shirt. So I'm assuming she was from Brazil, or she just came from Brazil. No, she spoke in Portuguese, so she has to have been Brazilian unless she was Portuguese. But I'm just assuming that was that. For a second, I thought the show was just like fucking up because they were talking Portuguese in Peru, and I was like, Peru doesn't speak Portuguese, man. It's Spanish. But I also know that a lot of people in North America, and maybe even in Europe, actually think that Portuguese and Spanish is like the same shit, and that Brazil speaks Spanish, or that everyone else speaks Portuguese. Like, it's a whole thing. Nobody actually knows the difference. The difference is essentially just like Brazil speaks Portuguese, everyone else speaks Spanish. That's it. That it's as simple as that. But some people can't tell the difference between the two languages. That's fine. There are some roots in between one and the other, so it's understandable. But I thought that it was the show actually making that mistake because we were in Peru and there was Portuguese, and then I was like, well, no, I actually think this character is Brazilian. So that's why she was speaking Portuguese. The Peru shit didn't have anything to do with that. So that was cool. So she was a blogger that I assume had like 1 billion subscribers because every person she met, she was like, oh, you know me, right? From the Two Girls Travel Vlog. And it's like, girl, how many subscribers do you have that you think people would just recognize you on the street? Like, not even recognize you on the street, but like everyone you meet would recognize you, you know? Like, that means that like at least like a 20% of the world population would know you, which is like assuming a lot. So yeah, you would have to have like a literal 1 billion subscribers in order for people to recognize you to that level. That also means that it's going to be a really awkward video when you go to YouTube and record the video of like, yeah, so Jamila was overtaken by an alien bacteria that eats plastic, and she's full of plastic because we're all human, right? So she just turned into stone and exploded and disintegrated in the air and turned to dust. Anyway, so I'm here in Peru That's gonna be a really interesting video to watch. I tell you what. It will boost the fucking views on the channel, I can tell you that. Well, I guess the channel is rebranding to either One Girl Travels Solo Travel Vlog, which is an actual YouTube channel, I think. And then, yeah, but at the end it was like Three Idiots Travel or some shit like that. Maybe they will do that. Which was a weird ending. It was like too cheesy because Gabriella didn't actually ever interact with like Jake and Adam, I don't think. So I don't know why she would be like, hey, I'll go with you guys. Also, why did they both get dropped off there? Like, Gabriela was in Peru, and the other two one of them came from Hong Kong, but that was because he was kidnapped, and the other one, I assumed they were from England. So why would... But even at the end, it looked like they were being dropped in Madagascar. Well, let's say that they were dropped in like a coast of England. Why would Gabriella be dropped in the coast of England? Like, you know what? Doesn't matter. She just travels. So I assume she was just gonna make do with wherever she is. So anyway, that's that. I'm trying to think what else to say about this episode. I feel like it was pretty straightforward, but it was just fun. I enjoyed the traveling aspect. I enjoyed the character of Jake, and his relationship with Adam. I enjoyed Gabriella. I really, really did. I enjoy having characters from different parts of the world. Like, just having English people gets tiring. Which is also why, I guess, Captain Jack is such a fun character, because he's American. John Barrowman is American. Captain Jack, I don't know. But it's something I enjoy. And we did have the two random guys in Madagascar. The dude and the chick ended up being evil. And I don't know if the dude was Aramu. Is that the name of the dude? Yeah, it was Aramu. Well, it sucks that he died. Anyway, there was Suki Cheng, and she was apparently like the big bad, but the big bad was the virus. She was just like, well, she did bring the virus into the planet, right? But she was trying to find a cure. She wasn't trying to spread it. Well, she was trying to spread it, but only to find a cure. All right, so I enjoyed having her because she was like a weird, like, Islander, Southeast Asian chick. Well, Madagascar, so no, it would be like Madagascarian. Is that a thing? Okay. What is the name of a person from Madagascar? What do you call someone like that? A Malagasy? A person from Madagascar is called a Malagasy, and Malagasy is also the former name of the nation. Okay, so she was a Malagasy, but not really because she was alien. But she gave me the impression that she was one. And I enjoy I enjoy the idea of being all over the world within an episode, just like everywhere, just all over the place. And then you find people from different points of the world too. And I just think that's fun. And I appreciate whenever Gabriela spoke in Portuguese, because it also gave more into that idea. And I enjoyed it. It was great. So that's like my favorite part about this episode, my favorite concept of it. There was some fun chit chatter between the gang, Graham, Ryan. I like that. I feel like the chit chat has been better lately. I think that's it. Like, I felt like this episode was too confusing for like 10 minutes, and then it finally started making sense, and then it wrapped up, and I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting you to wrap up this nicely. Because like the first like while for the episode, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Again, I just want to say that like the message of like the plastic and pollination and all of that, it's like, it's there, but I don't think it overtook the story of the episode. It's more like it's using it as one of the factors for the episode to happen. more than it is just like preachy. Like, in fact, this is like one of the least preachy episodes we've had in like the last season and a half. There's some that are high up there. Orphan 55 is the highest. Some of the others are a little lower, but even then they're not bad. I'm not saying they're bad. This one is on the lower end, man. This one is just using the idea of like, oh, the world is filled with plastic as a stepping stone to tell the story for the episode, for the adventure. That's how I feel about it. So it's good. Like, I was worried for a second, and then it didn't go there. And I was like, okay, we're good. We're chill. In fact, it like touched more on fucking Jake's perspective of himself and his relationship with Adam more than it did on that. So I'm good. That's totally great. Like, I feel like this is like, how do I put this? I feel like this episode was like better, or from 55, like, because I'm thinking about it, and like I remember people telling me in the comments for that episode, like, this episode, I'm talking about from 55, but people have told me like this episode is like, yeah, I don't even hate it, which I agree with. I don't. But it's like disappointing because like I wanted to see more about what the fuck was up with the character of like the, I don't remember the names, it's been a little bit, but like the girl and the mom, you know, or like the two old guys that were a couple, or like the hyphen with a 3, was that her names? You know, like we had fun characters that we could have done something with, and we didn't even care about them. We only care about the message. And I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel about it. But in this episode, we actually did have characters that we cared about. And we didn't really care about the message. It was just a stepping stone for the story to develop. And the story developing also coincided with this character's developing. And I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is how you do it. This is how you do an episode that does have a topic that it might be a little bit touchy, because it is a thing. Like, it is a thing that happens and matters. And I actually do value a show that is trying to tell you that, especially a show that I know for a fact kids watch. So I enjoy that, but I don't want it to be the main subject of the story. Otherwise, it becomes just like a really long PSA. But if you use it in the story as a factor, but not as a main thing, I'm like, yeah, we're good. This is good. And I think this episode is like textbook how to do it. I feel like this episode is like textbook how to do it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed traveling around the world. I enjoyed meeting these characters of Gabriella and Jake and Adam. I enjoyed the relationship that they explore. Not only the relationship, but like his own personal struggle, you know, the way he is, Jake. And then his relationship with Adam. I enjoyed the little fun dialogue that they might have with the gang. I enjoyed Yas actually being more active in this episode than she usually is. She was like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go there and see what's up. Which I thought was kind of stupid, but at the same time, this is Doctor Who, so characters are immune unless it's like a really important episode. And in those episodes, they're usually not stupid. In this one, it's not that important of an episode, so I'm like, yeah, okay, you can do whatever. It's like JoJo, really. Characters in JoJo are fine unless it's a really important episode, but otherwise, if it's a stupid episode, you don't care. You don't care. You don't have to care. It's fine. It's just for shits and giggles. It's just to move the plot. Don't think too hard about it. So, yeah, this episode was good, man. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I wouldn't say it's like a masterpiece, and I wouldn't say it's bad at all. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I think it was fun and enjoyable. Yeah, that's it. It's difficult because I just came from like the highest high with Fugitive to June. That episode was fire. Now this one, it's like, okay, we're cool. This is like the most like, okay, we're cool, we're chilling episode of Doctor Who that we've had in a while, I think. This is like the most vanilla episode of Doctor Who I can think of in the recent time, because Spyfall was just insane. Orphan 55, we don't talk about that one. Tesla was a historical and like a memoriam for Nikola Tesla, which I enjoy whenever Doctor Who does. Then we have Fugitive to Dune, which was a banger and a really important plot-wise overarching story episode. And this one is the first one that I'm like, yes, just adventure and fixing a problem and random one-off characters that matter. We're good. This is the essence of Doctor Who to me. So I had fun watching this a lot. I enjoy whenever we get a classic in nature episode of Doctor Who. That is what this was for me, and I enjoyed it. Anyway, I think that's it. I don't think there's a lot to talk about this episode. So yeah, that was Praxeus. It was good. I'm gonna go play some GeoGuessr now. Dude, what if I create a GeoGuessr game right now, see if people can play with me? Because I think you can play a game of GeoGuessr with anyone at any given time. It's like a challenge thing. And I think that if I create a challenge game and you guys can just click the link and play with me. You don't have to play at the same time, but it's like a scoreboard thing. Okay, so I'm going to create a game of GeoGuessr, and I'm going to drop the link on the video, because I don't think these have time limit. So I'm just going to drop this link on the description for the video, so you can play GeoGuessr with me. So I'm going to play a world game of GeoGuessr, and it's going to have a 2 minutes time per round, which means that so the way the game works is... Oh my god, I'm explaining GeoGuessr. The way this works is that when the game starts, you're going to be dropped somewhere in Google Street View, and you will have to figure out where you are in the world. There's like a tiny box with a world map, and you will have to press a place in the world. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, to try and figure out where you are. And I will set up a 3 minutes timer, so you can move around in the street, Google Street View, in order to see if you can find like a sign or like a truck or like anything that gives you an idea of where in the world you are. And then within those 3 minutes, you will have to make a guess and do it before the time runs out, because otherwise you will not count. So pro tip, pick a place already and then try and figure out exactly where that place is and move the pin somewhere. And you will have to do that 5 times, 3 minutes each time. And then at the end, we'll just compare the score lines and see who actually got the best score. So with the time limit, anyone can win, honestly, because I've had perfect rounds, but with the time limit blows everything. Because if you don't have time limit, you can spend 20 hours like I did trying to find the perfect spot. But if you have a time limit, you might just spawn in like a road in the middle of nowhere with any discernible information as to where you might be. So that might be bad. But yeah, I'm just gonna play GeoGuessr now. And I'm gonna drop a link and you guys can play with me. Okay? Alright, we can compare score lines later. Alright, so that's it for this episode of Doctor Who. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah. See you next time. Next week. Yeah. Oh, I need to do the outro thing, don't I? I do that sometimes. Yeah. Okay, so that was this week's episode of Doctor Who. Thank you for watching it. If you would like to see the next one, maybe already, check first. Should be up on Patreon already, as well as full length. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you next time, okay? Take care.